Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie Hernandez. If you didn't know that, well, now you know. And today's video is going to be the Christian girl tag slash the believers tag. But I will leave the link down below where I got the questions. Without further ado, let's get on to the video. Question number one is, what is your favorite thing about church? My favorite thing about church is definitely the Sunday school. So at my church, they have different classes for different ages. So I am 16, and so we have a class specifically for girls 16, no, not 16, from like 12 to 17. And they go to a class for just girls, and we have a teacher, and she gives us like lessons and lections specifically to touch our female hearts, and I think that's my favorite part about church. Question number two, how do you openly share your faith? For me, it's easier to share my faith with people who I already know. And if you want to share your faith but you don't just want to go up to random people and tell them, hey, can I talk to God about you? Can I talk to you about God? You can start off with people you already know. That is perfectly fine, and I think that is one of the best ways to start, because you're not as shy to talk to them. Start with someone who you already talked to and just ask them simple questions about their faith. I did a social experiment about and I asked people on my Instagram religious questions, but like not exactly religious, but like faith-based questions. And I also posted them on Facebook, and I got responses back from people. And I feel like even asking them a question or telling them a short Bible verse or telling them that, oh, I'm happy just because God's good, like something simple to get their attention. Just short little testimonies. Be a walking testimony. That's one of the biggest things. Be a walking testimony. And sometimes people will even ask you about your faith instead of you having to tell them about it first, because people are always so interested. And like I said, with the social experiment that I did on my Instagram and on my Facebook, that video about the outcome will also come soon. Question number three, how long have you been saved / when did you become saved? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up Christian since I was born. I got my ears pierced at church, literally. But I think that I haven't lived my whole life as a Christian. And I say that because looking back years ago and looking at myself now, I am not the same person. Christ has changed me, and that happened in the summer of 2018. So this summer of 2020 will be my 2-year anniversary of being saved. And I gave my life to Christ when I was 9, and I got baptized at 9. But my relationship with Christ didn't change. I rebelled in junior high and in middle school, and it wasn't until the summer before my freshman year where I started going to a new church, and that church invited me to go to a summer camp with them. And so I went, and it was a Hispanic camp, but it was also in English, and the service was in English. And I remember going to that camp and every day crying at every service. We would have like services in the morning and in the middle of in the afternoon, and then at night. And then the night services, which were the preachings, would always touch my heart. I remember crying every single day because I felt so convicted. And that's when I don't want to cry. I just think about it. God is so good that he made me realize what I was doing was wrong. And that is also when I received my calling to be in the ministry. So since that summer, I've had it in my heart to go into the ministry and be in the missionary. So yeah. Number 4. What are your spiritual goals? One of my spiritual goals is to become more strong in my prayer and in my faith, because I don't pray as often as I want to, and I would like to pray a lot more, and I want to like have a schedule of what I'm gonna read, when I'm gonna pray, and my prayer request and stuff like that. So I do want to increase my prayer life. Question number 5. What is your favorite Bible verse and what does it mean to you? My favorite Bible verse, I have a couple, but my top favorite is Jeremiah 29:11, which is, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." I don't know what version that is, what translation, but that's my favorite Bible verse. What it means to me, it's been my favorite Bible verse since I became saved, because I have always been afraid of the future, of if I do this, what's gonna come after that. And so I always want to be so secure in what the future is for me, but I also need to lay back and let God take control. And so when he says, "For I know the plans I have for you," that just gives me so much security to know that God will never put you in a situation that he knows you cannot handle. And God is always there for you. So that is always my favorite Bible verse. I always have it at the top of my head whenever I go through something difficult, when I'm going through something difficult, and it's a big help. Question number 6. If you can meet Jesus right now, what would your first question/action be? Oh my gosh. Imagine being in front of Jesus. You know, have you ever seen, I know you have seen, like the soldier videos where like people come home to their families and they just run to them and like cry, or like drop to their knees and cry. I feel like that's what my reaction would be. Like just seeing him, I would like cry, and as I'm crying I would crawl over and hug him. Like that's just what I want to do. I want to hug Jesus so bad and just feel his warm hug and love. Question number 7. What challenge/challenges have you faced on your walk with God? Definitely being not mistreated. What's the word?
Discriminated. The word is discriminated.
Being judged as a Christian. I was in junior high rebelling. I skipped classes sometimes. I talked back to the teacher. I would curse. And then I went into high school freshman year and I didn't curse anymore. And I started going to my classes and I started paying attention and getting my grades up. People saw that and they thought something, like they saw the change. And sometimes that's when I started sharing my faith. And I remember freshman year, I would sit with 3 friends and I would share them my faith, because I would bring my Bible to church and I would bring pamphlets to share to them, but they would always reject them. And I remember it would always crush my heart just trying to help them, but them not taking the help. Ezekiel 33:8-9. So I will put that on the screen. And those Bible verses really helped me during that challenge. I think that was one of the hardest challenges. Question number 8. What is your favorite Christian book? If we're talking about what's my favorite book of the Bible, then it's definitely Ephesians. Question number 9. Advice that you would give to a new convert. Don't expect life to be easy all of a sudden because you have God. Yes, God will get you through things. He will get you through everything, because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Philippians 4:13. But the Christian life is way harder than the life that you used to live without Christ, because now you have that conviction. Now you have God telling you, don't do this. Before, you could do whatever you want because you didn't have him in your heart. You didn't know what was right from wrong. So trust God, because the Christian life is a hard one. Question number 10. How would you describe your relationship with God? I would describe my relationship with God to be good, but not great. It's good because I do have my devotionals and I do meditate on the word, but I know I could do more. So it's good, not bad, but not great. Question number 11. Oddest place that you have ever prayed? Oddest place. Probably the restroom. I'm pretty sure I've prayed because, in the morning you go to the restroom, and in the morning I start off with my thank you God for this day prayer. So the restroom. And the last question is, I almost forgot about this one. Are you ready if Jesus were to come tomorrow? Spiritually, yes. I am certain that I will go to heaven, that I will be raised up with him. I'm ready. I'm ready to go if Jesus were to come tomorrow, but I do want to get married first. Like, there's still a lot of things that I want to do before that time comes. So that is the end of today's video. I am so glad that you stayed to the end to watch this. The questions will be down below in the description so you too can answer them. And I hope you enjoyed the Christian/the believers tag. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And feel free to comment down your answer to your favorite question that was mentioned today in the comments down below. Don't forget to follow my social medias. They're at the end and in the description. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you next time.